Okay, it says we are live. Let me grab my screen. When it comes on, I can pause it.
It didn't come on me. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
All right, it's paused. Wait, not yet. It's not paused. It's paused now.
Okay.
Oh, look at the little chicken.
Live. All right, so it's going to take a couple of minutes for people to come in. So we are going to, let me pull up my information real quick. That way we can get started.
Wow.
Pop out my chat. Good morning. So Melanie's here, Nanda's here, Mr. and Ms. Rain are here.
Wait, I lost all of my chat. Where did my chat stuff go?
I don't know.
Help me find it.
Go back to YouTube and you'll see it.
I am on YouTube. This YouTube is not for me.
Should be on the right hand. Oh, my chat just disappeared too.
No.
All right, hold
okay,
on.
see?
Yeah, it's not.
I'll find it and help me.
Kind of weird. I don't know what just happened. Okay, you're gonna have to refresh the screen and pause the video again. This is why we come on early and.
So it's not. The chat is still not there.
Off grid with Doug and Stacey.
Oh wait,
I'm making you a moderator just in case, because you should be a moderator either way.
Well, don't talk to me right now. I'm trying to find something. What? I love you.
I can see you, Heidi. I can see you. So you're just going to have to refresh the screen and just go back to that link I sent you.
I'm trying.
Hi, Lola.
No, take it. Say bye to Amy.
Bye. Bye. Good morning, Amy Dad. Good morning, Wallace Lake Homestead.
Doug, I lost it again. Fudge. What the heck?
Good morning, Tara. Oh, man, that sucks that it's too loud for you.
Bye, Miss Amy.
Lola said bye.
Bye, Lola.
She said bye.
All right, tell me when you're ready, Anne.
Love you. Bye. All right. You're paused. Hello? All right, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, you're good. All right. So today, if you're in here today, we are here to do an essential oils class. We do these every now and then. We should probably do them more often, but time doesn't allow it. So today we are going through basically basics of essential oils. I mean, essential oils are so extensive that, Heidi, yes, I got the flower off of my face. If you guys didn't see that, you'll have to go to Facebook and Instagram and see the flower explosion I had last night. But we are here to talk about the basics. Literally, there are books and videos and all kinds of stuff full of information about essential oils that you guys can read and look at. We could never fit all of everything that you need to know in an hour, but we're going to try to go through the basics. And so that basically looks like telling you who we are, about our own essential oil journey. Very, very condensed. We have another video, which I'll link after this one processes, that goes into more of our journey extensively. We're going to talk a little bit about how Ann and I became friends and how we're on the same team for doTERRA. We do rep doTERRA. We'll tell you why. You don't have to buy doTERRA. You know, we really encourage you to, because we've done our research and we love it. But this is just essential oils in general. We want you to be safe and know how to use them. And then we're going to go through basically top 5 essential oils that Ann likes, that I like, the blends that we like. We're going to talk about EO safety, how to apply essential oils. We're going to confront the debate on whether you should or shouldn't ingest them, and it's not as black and white as people might think. And then we're going to go through a few tough topics like cold and flu. We're going to talk about skin and breast cancer. We're going to talk about anxiety and depression. And I'm going to give you a few studies that can really support that essential oils work for these cases. A lot of big hospitals are starting to study doTERRA essential oils. And, there are a lot of other companies certainly that they could study, but they're choosing to study doTERRA. And so that to me, is a really big deal with who you choose. So whether you choose doTERRA or not, it doesn't matter to us. We just wanted to put that out there as a disclaimer that is what we use. And that's what we'll be talking about today, is those types of oils that we use. So I think we are good to go. We have about 20 people watching. And if you are watching this, the recorded version, you can come back and watch it recorded. So if you can't stay, that's fine. Or if you're watching it now and it's the recorded version, that's fine. But the important thing is we have these adorable introductory kits to give away today. I don't know if you can see this or not. There we go.
There we go.
We have 5 of these introductory kits, and they are super cute, and you have to watch live in order to win it. And so the introductory kit comes in this cute little box, and it comes with the 5 milliliter lavender, lemon, and peppermint. And these are 3 of the biggest oils that I think most of us use around our homes and our homestead. And that's why we are giving these away today. So we have 5. We're going to give them away really randomly, and I don't really know how we're going to give them away, but pay attention to the class, and we might ask questions, and whoever answers the questions correctly first will get one of these. So we have 5, and I will try to strategically remember to do them throughout the class. So, Anne, do you want to start with your journey, like condensed, because I know you love to talk. So like
Shut
really
up.
Short.
Brat. All right. So I started using oils probably, it's been over almost 3 years now. And the reason why is Lola was getting really bad head pressure, like to the point where it was making her nauseous, blurry vision. And they wanted to put her on medicine for epileptic seizures. So that wasn't an option for us. She didn't have epilepsy, so there was no reason for us to really move forward with that. So what we ended up doing is just out of the blue, out of a fluke, ran into someone who was doing oils, and they had mentioned they had a headache oil. And so we went ahead and tried it. So she is using past tense. If she can catch it fast enough. She's also using frankincense, and she, if she gets to the point where she gets a little nauseous, she's using Digestzen. She's 9, by the way. And she has gotten to the point where she can actually regulate and monitor her own migraines coming on board and can stop them. In the past year and a half, she used to get them probably about at least once a month. And now she's down to 1 every couple months, if that. We regulate it with food, of course. That's a big, big indicator for us that there's something going on. And then, depending on her water intake and things like that. So we really, really, really monitor it. It's not just about using the oils, but it's about all the concepts of having her be able to recognize the signs that's actually offsetting it. So she has gotten really good about that. Justin does construction. We had to really work on him and his body a little bit. And this is from my skeptical husband, turn around. And, he is able to get through the day. He's been doing construction for over 23 years. And, now he's able to function a lot better than he's ever been able to do. We use him around the house. I use them for emotional support. I do get the seasonal blues. We live in Washington State. So I have a hormonal preteen. We use them on our dogs. We use them on the livestock. You just really need to look into it and see where it's coming from and what you can actually use them for, and the level of potency for which you're actually diluting them and being able to offer them to what you want to use them for. So that's short for you.
Yay! That was a good condensation of your story. If you haven't checked it out, Anne and I actually did a live stream about emotional support essential oils, and Anne is my go-to person for that. Anne has really kind of changed her life around and gotten off medicine for emotional support. So I will try to link that video down below too, that you guys can check out at some point. Okay, so my condensed story. So I think most people know that I am an herbalist first. I really, I love herbs. And so essential oils was kind of something I went into later. Cheryl, I see your question. What kind of asthma relief has there been from doTERRA use? We'll have a time for questions at the end because I know I'm not going to
sorry.
answer that. What? Oh, well,
and,
and do it. But if you guys want to hold your questions until the end, that's awesome because otherwise I won't remember to answer them all. But so our essential oil journey started, actually, here's the thing. I was an essential oil skeptic. I have somebody messaging me. I was like totally against essential oils. I don't know if some of you remember, but I even went as far as posting a blog post one time saying doTERRA was a scam, that it was the biggest scam you'd ever heard. Multi-level marketing companies were crazy. And I was using essential oils from Bulk Apothecary because it was cheaper. And I thought just because it was cheaper that it was the same type of purity, right? So my son, and this will help Cheryl, my son had asthma when he was little. And, when you're desperate to kind of figure out things that'll help. And essential oils didn't cure him by any means. But I noticed that if he was starting to have an asthma attack, I had a friend who sent me the Breathe blend from doTERRA. And I noticed when he was starting to have an asthma attack that if I put the oil in his hands, rub it together, and had him hold it over his face like this, it would get rid of, it would deter the asthma from being full-blown and going forward with a full-blown asthma attack, which would then allow us to not have to use a nebulizer, not have to give him a steroid treatment. And so I couldn't get that same outcome with the other essential oils that I was using. And so then I felt like the biggest fool ever because I started using doTERRA oils and I was like, oh my gosh, I wrote this entire blog post that I was against these oils and that people are overusing them and it's scary and it's all this stuff that I was the biggest skeptic ever. And then when I started using them, I was like, wow, how stupid was I? And so I began to really start paying more attention, doing research. I really got into essential oils about 2 years ago. I think Anne had mentioned to me that she used doTERRA, and I was like, well,
never pushing it on you. I never pushed it on you at all.
She never pushed it on me. Not never. At all. She never pushed it on me. But I was starting to talk about essential oils more, and she's like, well, why don't you just join doTERRA and get the wholesale costs? And there are all these benefits to joining. And I like free stuff, and one of the benefits was getting free stuff and to start building our medicine cabinet. And so I joined. Sorry, everybody's trying to get a hold of me today. And yeah, Heidi, that is all part of the learning process as we go. And it's true. We find out new things and exciting things, and it's great. But so I started building my arsenal of oils. And now the thing is that my skepticism from the beginning actually helped me learn better in the end, because now I can go through and say, I can pinpoint things that aren't true. There are some things that multi-level marketing companies say that really aren't true. Not that they're not true, but they don't give you the whole truth. And there's certain ways, yes, that you should use them, certain ways you shouldn't use them. But we use them a lot. Now, we are pretty healthy in general. I'm not someone who has to use essential oils every single day. And but Anne and I were talking. See, Anne is somebody who uses essential oils every single day for emotional support. And see, that's where this essential oil thing is not as black and white as people think it is. Not every single person who uses essential oils has to use them every single day. But then there are some people who do. And so I use them a lot to clean. I've almost gotten rid of all of our chemical cleaners and fixed that with doTERRA and making our own cleaners and making our own air freshener. Air freshener was a huge thing for me. Number one, I was always running out. With doTERRA, I can make a brand new bottle every time. But also, air freshener is really not healthy for you. And it was something that would set off my son's asthma attacks. And so, we use a lot around the house to clean with, mop with. I use it on our animals. Anne can attest to this too. She's had animals that needed help with essential oils, and doTERRA and essential oils in general, they are a great line of defense when herbs aren't strong enough to heal what's ailing you. And that's how essential oils should be respected, because they are so highly concentrated. And so we don't use oils on a regular basis necessarily for our health. We do use oils, and we'll get into this in a second, to cut, clean out wounds. If somebody gets cut, we use them for that. If we need, a skin salve or a lotion, we use them on all types of things like that. And then when we're sick, we use essential oils. When we have something ailing us, we do go to essential oils, and we use them throughout the house for household cleaners. So there's a lot of ways that you can utilize essential oils. Not any one person is going to use EOs the same way, and your household is differently. And that's why we wanted to give you the basics, because, something that might be happening with you might not be happening to somebody else who uses essential oils. And so you're going to need to use them differently than somebody else. And so with the basics in your knowledge, learning about this, you can then confidently go and say, okay, well, I don't need to do it this way. I need to do it this way. Or I don't need this oil. I need the other oil. And that's, so there's, that difference between us. So that's how we got started into essential oils. We began Team Farm Girl, probably obviously a play off of Anne's name, because she is a farm girl in the making on all her social media outlets. And we do it because, we've been there. We believe in empowering people to take control of their health. Now, we're not going to shove it down your throat. We're not going to, and we don't judge people who don't use holistic remedies or essential oils or herbs. We're not like that. But we share all this information because there are people out there who want to learn more about herbs, who want to live a more holistic lifestyle, and that's okay too. And so we do this because we want to be a voice to those people. And we're not trying to pressure anyone into using these things or anything. It's just, if you want to use it, here's the information that you need, and we want you to do it safely. So that's why we started Team Farm Girl. That's why we have a team. If you want to join our essential oils team, you can talk to us about that later. But for now, let's talk about doTERRA as a company, because we need to put this in here just so we can, tell you about doTERRA. So Anne, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
What part are we on?
So about doTERRA, company, sourcing, purity, all that stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is how I actually sold Amy on doTERRA. And I didn't sell her. She was asking, what happened was she had asked me, we were talking about something, we were talking about using oils, and she goes, well, why do you use doTERRA of all the oil companies? And this is just a friend-to-friend talk, okay? This wasn't a sales pitch. This wasn't sitting down to meet with her or anything like that. This was literally why I was explaining to her why I chose doTERRA outside of any other company. And I mean, we were hit up by a lot of individuals in regards to joining their essential oils company. And I needed to make a choice because I knew that oils were a direction that I wanted to go. So when you think about an oil, and someone had said here that they got really dizzy when they were using lavender, and somebody else said here that they were able to use it because they were once allergic to lavender. doTERRA co-impacts resources their oils, okay? And what does that mean? And if we're homesteaders and we're gardeners and we're growing our own food, we really know what that means, right? You gather a product that is going to be fully maximized based on the oil, air, dirt, water in which it's grown in the natural environment that it's at, all right? So if you're sitting here and you're getting frankincense from Somalia, or you're getting wintergreen from Nepal, those are going to be a lot more potent than what you're going to get if they were housed in a greenhouse or trying to grow in the deserts here, because it's not their natural environment. It's not the natural environment for where it's at. doTERRA believes in going back and reaching out into the world where it actually grows from in order to maximize where you're at. It's harvested there, it's distilled there, and then it's transported over to the US, where then it's third-party tested. Okay, that is the difference between doTERRA and other essential oil companies. That is why the cost of doTERRA is different than any other oil company. We do not house something that is here in a greenhouse, millions and millions of acreage of land, to turn around and do that. We bring job employments to farmers across the world. We turn around and we offer foundations in regards to helping the villages that we are at, wells, water, schooling, education, healthcare for those people. And we don't leave it and just rip out our resources that we've given them. They are there and they're founded and they're able to establish themselves and better themselves as a community. If you guys know anything about me, it's all about serving and being able to be a servant to the community where we're at. That is my main priority in regards to our brand. When I saw that doTERRA was actually entering these third world countries and harvesting from there, you have to wonder if it's the environment that's going to really be destroyed based by it. doTERRA will stop harvesting if for some reason there is it's time to stop. They find a new resource from there and they move on. Okay. So
because a lot of people, I've had comments from people say, well, I don't join doTERRA because sometimes they don't have oils in stock that I need. Well, that's actually not a bad thing, because that's one of the reasons why, because, when they have those resources and they don't want to rape the ground of that, and they only provide pure products that they know can be sold to you. And so that's one of the reasons why, before you move on, I wanted to say that.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So there are, everybody wants to complain about the pricing of something. I am very frugal. I'm not going to lie, but I will pay for something that I am going to apply to my family, apply to my household, apply to my livestock, and apply to myself, where I know it has really benefited chains from A, B, C, D before it's even reached me. I will pay that dollar for that. Okay. It's like me going to a grocery store and looking at something and saying, okay, well, I'm just going to pay for this because it's $20 cheaper. Well, guess what you're going to get for $20 cheaper? You got to keep that in mind as you do it. Make sure co-impact resourcing is something that you believe in, because if it is something you believe in, then you need to decide how you're going to move forward from that. Okay. That was my main connection of why I chose doTERRA. And actually, that's why she ended up choosing doTERRA too, because by the time I explained that to her and she researched it, Amy realized that, this is important. This is the key element to producing a really great pure oil. Most of the oils that you're going to buy at the grocery store, even online, you guys, oils are one of the most unregulated items that the USDA, FDA has founded, okay? Because there's just so many oil companies out there, so they haven't regulated it. Now, here's the thing is that someone said that they get dizzy based on their oils. There's one of two options in regards to that. Many oil companies will add what they call carriers to them. It's either going to be water-based, alcohol-based, or another oil in regards to fill a bottle, okay? doTERRA is not. doTERRA's oils are filled with the actual oil itself. doTERRA offers a third-party testing in regards to every single oil product that leaves their distiller, okay? So you have the ability to research from the moment that it was harvested, from the moment it was distilled, to the moment it's reached American soil, and you have all that history for it, all right, you guys? And the test results for it too. So if a company isn't offering you that ability, then question the company where it's at. Don't just go based that this oil is $10, that it's going to do the same effect as a 100% oil. Okay, that oil is not, and it's going to affect you health-wise. It's going to affect the product that you've purchased, and you don't really want to get mixed in with that, because if you're trying to sit there and address an allergy issue to lavender, but you're using something that's a little bit mixed with synthetic, It's not going to do it for you, and that's where everybody fails. When you end up going to the hospital stating that, I was using essential oils and this is what I did, and it's not a true oil, and you don't know how to use it, yeah, your trip to the hospital is going to end up in something that you don't really need.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Melanie said something. She had said further up in the chat that she had suggested to somebody using lavender essential oil, and they ended up getting burned from it because they weren't using a pure oil. And that happens a lot. You're going to see a lot of criticism online with these types of scenarios. And it's because, number one, they've either bought a cheap oil, like those ones you can buy from Walmart or the GNC store, or they've bought doTERRA oils on Amazon. And I assure you all that doTERRA does not sell, nor does Young Living sell, any of their oils on Amazon. Those are people who were either reps before that are trying to get extra stock, or people who have gotten their hands on bottles and fill it up with something that's not what you're supposed to be buying. And you can actually buy caps for those bottles and put them on. Mm-hmm. And so don't buy your oils from Amazon. Don't buy your oils from big box stores. We don't say that because we want to sell you oils. We say that because these are the things that happen, that people get hurt by using them, because it's not a pure oil. It's not what they say it is when they sell it. And so that, that kind of leads us into getting started with the essential oils and the safety of it and all that. If you have questions about doTERRA and sourcing, and the purity of oils, you can certainly ask that at the end or get in touch with us. doTERRA does have outsourcing where you can actually go in and put the code on the bottle into their website, and you can see where that oil came from, the testing of that bottle, that specific batch, and what it went through and how it came out. So that's another reason we really love doTERRA. But so now we can move on to the safety of essential oils, and I can see in the chat that that's probably the main concern for a lot of people is the safety. So let me put this out there first and foremost, and I do this for every class that I do. If you have a true ailment, if you have, true issues like leaky gut syndrome, cancer, an autoimmune disease, herbs and essential oils are great. But if you have certain issues, herbs and essential oils can make those issues worse if you're not choosing the proper herbs and essential oils. So, I am not against modern medicine. I believe in modern medicine. I believe that modern medicine is a great way to prevent illness. Going in and getting blood tests done, going in for a routine checkup. Those are all preventative care medicine. And I am not against that. And so, there are certainly a lot of horrible doctors out there, but there's a lot of great ones too. Taking advantage of that as preventative care is going to be really important for you, because if your hormones are out of whack, if you have a blood disease, if you have some other kind of issue that can be detected by blood work or any other preventative measures that a modern doctor can give you, I do suggest taking that preventative measure so you know how to work on yourself better, okay? You can ask for the blood tests. You can look through them yourself. You can diagnose yourself. Ann and I aren't here to diagnose you. We can't do that. We're not medical professionals.
Right.
But we can help you along the journey to finding out what's wrong with you. And you can ask your doctor, you can show him these and say, hey, I'm going to try this. So if you have major medical issues, you really need to research before you start using herbs and essential oils. And we have to strongly suggest that, because it's really important. There are oils that can make things worse if you have a certain condition. So that's the first safety thing. The next safety issue is, one of the biggest topics is ingesting essential oils. A lot of multi-level marketing companies, any company really, they'll tell you to just, put drops of oil in water and stuff like that. We all have differing opinions on this. The way that I've been taught is, yes, you can put essential oil under your tongue or through your mouth. Like I know Ann does it with frankincense for migraines, and I even do that sometimes if I have a headache. But typically, in scientific studies, the way that essential oils are ingested are either in a capsule, taken with food, or in honey, some type of syrup or honey. The reason for that is because scientifically, if pure oil hits your stomach lining, it does eat through that mucus lining in your stomach. And so I always suggest either, take it with food, in a tablespoon of honey, in a capsule, or, so it's not just immediately hitting your stomach. It has some time to process. But also, more importantly, taking it with food or honey or in a capsule actually gets it through your system better. And a lot of people don't realize that. If you're drinking it in water, the oil can get caught on the glass and you lose half the oil that's in there, or it just goes into your stomach acid eats it away and it goes away. With putting it in a honey or food or capsule, think of your body like a donut. Your body is the donut and your digestive tract is the whole. And anything that goes into your mouth, it can stop at a certain point in your digestive tract. If you're not using a carrier like honey or capsule or food, it stops in your stomach. And in order for that essential oil to digest properly, it needs to go throughout and get into your system properly. It needs to go throughout your entire digestive tract, especially if you're taking oils for a digestive issue like colitis or, inflammation in your digestive tract. So it's really important to ingest oils that way so that you're getting the full aspect of that essential oil, and it can actually help you better. So that's important with ingestion. The other two ways to use essential oils is topically, obviously on your skin. You'll need to use a carrier oil with some oils. We can't go through all of those oils because each oil is different. And then you can do it aromatically, which is either you can put it on your hands and go like this, or you can buy a diffuser. doTERRA has diffusers, or you can honestly buy diffusers on Amazon for cheaper. And that's how Ann and I are, because we do like to save a buck. And so if there's something you can buy on Amazon other than oils, then we will tell you to buy it on Amazon. And then topically, we went over that. So those are, I'm going to tell you guys, if you really want to learn more about essential oils, we can't suggest this book enough. The Modern Essentials book. I think they're coming out with a new one this year because they had a Copaiba.
Yeah.
This is the 8th edition. They have a 10th edition. But I would suggest getting this because in this book, it actually goes through, how the oils are sourced. I don't know if you can see this. How it works with your brain, how oils are distilled. I didn't even think about it. I could have used that for my book. I didn't think about that. A history on essential oils. I know, right now it's just hitting me. Topical, application.
Oh shit!
What?
I dropped my phone.
And it goes through pressure points and things like that. So this book is really, really important. It's a really good handbook. If you're looking to get into essential oils more, I really suggest it, highly suggest it. Let me see, where am I at? Junior, can you turn that down? My child is listening to music. Okay. Ann, are you back? She's gone, isn't she? She is. She's gone. See, this is what happens to us. Hold on. I'm going to send her the link again. Ann drops out all the time. Ann, come back. She's trying to reconnect. Hold on, let me grab my kid real quick. Okay, while Ann is coming back, I'm going to keep going because it's already 11:30, and I'm going to try to help.
Sorry, I'm here. I'm here.
There she is. She's reconnected.
Sorry.
Right, you're fine. All right, so the next thing we were going to go over is where to begin with essential oils. So we were talking about safety. Is there anything you want to add to safety while we're still there?
There. Yes, safety. Oils. It's always best to use oils. And I don't know what I missed. I'm sorry. Make sure you're going to use a carrier for them, whether it's going to be fractional coconut oil, if it's going to be, whatever oil you want to use with them, make sure you're using a carrier until you fully tested it. That's the first thing. Someone made a conversation here about oregano oil burning themselves. Oregano oil is a hot oil. If you're going to do any form of ingestion, it's best to definitely use a capsule if you're going to do it. And there are only certain oils which can be ingested, you guys. Not every single oil underneath the sun can be ingested. doTERRA does do an excellent job in regards to indicating on their bottles which is actually considered to be a supplement and which is actually considered to be aromatic and which is considered to be just applied topically or aromatically. So doTERRA has done a really great job in being able to distinguish these for you. But I don't know if Amy addressed this or not. You don't need to be consuming oils every single day. If you are, there's more of an internal issue wrong with you. And not saying there's something wrong with you, but there's something going on where you should never have to ingest oils every single day. Just like you wouldn't ingest a ibuprofen every single day. If you are, you got to go find out what's wrong with you. Okay. So we're talking about using oils as regards to addressing ailments or addressing something that's happening right then and there to get you along the path of better health, but not to be used every single day. That, it's something like a deep blue rub for muscle stiffness and soreness, which Justin does use every single day at the end of his bath. That's different. Okay. But he is not sitting here taking taking oregano oil every single day to boost his immune system, right? So he's using other natural items to be able to do so. So just be careful. Sensitive skin, especially your dilution. Make sure you know your dilution percentage in regards to how you're going to address a child to an adult. When you create roller bottles, the same thing. There's different dilutions for basically your age of where you're at. So if you find someone who does oils and can't explain that to you, you're with the wrong person. And I'm not saying Amy and I are the right fit for you, but definitely find the right fit for you. Find someone who could speak of you oils in regards to dilution, healthcare with kids, things like that. That's the safety behind it. You know, the typical, oh, come join oils because they smell great are the people that you don't really want to be around.
And that's important, you know,
especially if you're running a homestead.
Yeah, I was in a group the other day, and the number one complaint was that they shy away from companies like doTERRA because of their wellness advocates. And it's true. There are a lot, you know, it's this way with any company. I mean, it can be this way with doctors' offices, for goodness sake. You know, there are doctors who hand out antibiotics like crazy, and they shouldn't. It's the same with essential oils. You know, essential oils are medicine. Bottom line, you know, it takes 63 pounds of lavender to create one little bottle of essential oil. You've got to think about the potency of that essential oil. It's like medicine. And so if you are taking something and it's not working for you, or if you're just doing it just to do it, like, you know, put lemon in your water, a lemon, you know, why go straight to
yes.
oil? You know, it's not hard to cut a lemon up and put it in your water, you know, rather than taking a medicinal dose of 1 drop of lemon oil. It just, don't do that. We don't need to do that. And here's the
biggest let me put this in there. This is the biggest joke, okay? Well, it's not the biggest joke. This is what people are actually taught. Why would you need to, you know, the thing about peppermint and soothing your tummy? I mean, you will hear a lot of people, because it's rotated through a lot, that will say, 1 drop of peppermint is so much more potent. So why are you going ahead and brewing a cup of tea?
Right.
You know, well, there's a reason for things like that. You know, we brew a cup of tea because ingestion of something does not need to be impactful. What happens is you have a stomach ache. So figure out what your stomach ache is coming from. Did you overeat? Guess what? Apple cider vinegar, raw form, is actually going to help you a little bit quickly too. You don't need to use a drop of peppermint essential oils to soothe that tummy ache.
Yeah. So in other words, essential oils, a lot of people you see their herbal remedies are just essential oils, and that's completely not where we want you guys to be. You know, you've got different things: nutrition, herbs, essential oils, colloidal silver. There are a lot of things in the holistic world that you can use to get to the bottom of things. And so what we're saying is, yes, add essential oils to your arsenal of holistic living, but don't let that be the only thing that you use, because there are better ways. And that's something I want to address real quick before we go off with the safety. You know, a lot of people in herbalism and holistic living, they think that it works the same way modern medicine does. And that's the biggest lie ever, and the biggest misconception, and why people turn away from herbalism and holistic living, because they think if it's not working immediately for me, then it's not going to work at all. The reality is that in herbalism, and if you guys have pre-ordered my book, I have this all in my book. Herbalism, it takes time. You know, herbalism is mostly first preventative measures. So you know, adding nutrition is important. Adding different herbs to boost immunity during flu season is important. Things that can help you naturally to prevent things is really your first line of defense. When you get sick, that preventative dose of essential oil or that preventative dose of herb is not going to help you. You can then take that dosage, and you have to take it 2 to 3 times every couple of hours. So if you're taking an elderberry tablet syrup, you know, once a day for preventative, that's great. But if you're trying to take it once you get sick, taking it once a day isn't going to help you at all.
Right.
You're out the window. You've got to take that preventative that you made and up the dosage from a teaspoon to a tablespoon, and then take it every 2 to 3 hours. So, you know, and it might take 2 days for it to start working. And so, you know, these are things that you've got to understand when going into holistic remedies, that holistic remedies do not work like modern medicine. And yes, it is totally possible to integrate modern medicine and essential oils and herbs.
I'm going to add something real quick, and I know we need to move on, but I'm going to add something real quick in regards to using essential oils in your livestock and around the barnyard area. They can be used, you guys. They really can. You just need to know how to do it. The genetic makeup of livestock is completely different than genetic makeup of who we are as humans, okay? But you have to know what you're doing. There's only a handful of basic oils you can use. I mean, the great debate is that you should never use essential oils on cats, but whoa, let's go back 1 minute. Yes, I am going to say this on Amy's YouTube channel is this. The reason why is that cats' genetic makeups are completely different. However, it doesn't mean that essential oils cannot be used around them. There are certain oils that will affect them very, very negatively, but they can be used. There's veterinarians that will actually state they can be used. I mean, if you go and do some research, you're going to be surprised. I mean, it's just been one of those things that just has been taboo for so long, but it's going to do it. When my vet had suggested that I use oils on my goat, I mean, I couldn't have gotten more ecstatic. He was like, stop buying probiotics, just start feeding him fermented foods, give him, and I said, well, what about these oils? He was, oh my gosh, if they're going to do it, go ahead and do it. I went ahead and used frankincense. I went ahead and used some On Guard. I went ahead and used, I'm trying to even think what I put in there. So what else did I put in there? I don't even remember. I'll have to go back and look it up. But the point of it is that the dilution amount is so tremendous. And then on top of that, you've got a little bit of respiratory issues going on. I mean, what are you going to reach for? What are you going to do? Try to go buy VetX?
Right.
What's it called? VetRx? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, VetRx, you guys. All right, we don't need to use VetRx for everything else, okay? So, I'm fine if new chicken keepers going in and saying, into a feed store going, oh my gosh, my chickens are sneezing, I don't know what to do. And then they go, here's some VetRx for you. Okay, great, you're new. But, as your years progress as a homesteader, you're going to want to try something differently. I mean, oregano for our flocks. I mean, we use essential oils, we use colloidal silver, we use raw apple cider vinegar, we use herbs on our livestock all the time. All the time. I live in Washington State. Heidi can contest to this. I live in Washington State. We have had a very warm winter. We're soaking in mud right now. Do you know how much bacteria is there in our barnyard area right now? A lot. And we run rampant on coccidiosis in our area. It can be done. Find someone who can help you with your questions. Don't trust anyone. If you're not going to be able to use it in a way that's effective for your barnyard, your homestead, and your family, stop and think about what you're doing in regards to that. I mean, Amy and I don't just believe in oils. We believe in a true holistic regimen. I mean, even on our page, someone will say something, Amy will go, well, this is what I'm using for strep throat. And I'm like, okay. And so, or someone will say, well, I've got a fungus on my foot. And then we're like, okay, well, you know what? Why don't you just try some colloidal silver? We're very upfront. We love our oils, but we're very upfront in trying other natural options as well, too.
Yeah. And I think that's important. I think it's important to understand that there are things other than essential oils. Yes, essential oils are great. But just live. We don't just talk about it. We live it. This is the lifestyle that we live. And so we can help, and eventually, I know we've talked about this before. We really need to do just a webinar on essential oils and livestock. So maybe that's something we can work on another time. But okay. So, before we move out of the safety thing and where to get started, well, this isn't safety. This is just where to get started. So a lot of people, when they email me, they're like, I don't know where to begin. I don't know which oils to start with because it's overwhelming. There are so many oils that you can choose from. And so I normally sit there and I ask them, I said, give me the 5 top reasons why you want to use essential oils, whether it's for your health, for your home, for your animals. Why do you want to use essential oils? And so almost all of them come back: headache, upset stomach, cleaning,
muscle ache,
and joint pain. Those are the top reasons why people want to start using essential oils. And so that allows me to say, okay, here's the oils that you should check into first. Here's the top 5 oils that you might want to look at, and then start treating a symptom. Don't use 100 oils to treat one symptom. You're not going to know what works for you until you start playing around with it. And that's the other downfall of holistic medicine, is that you have to play around with it a little bit to find out how your body's going to react to it. And so we sit down and make a list. What are the top 5 things that are ailing you? And then we can go from there. You can start researching from there. You can get a book and read, or you can come and ask us. That's the best way to get started with essential oils. And, then we can work from there. But before we go on, I have one of these to give away because, see, I've already forgotten about it. And so we have 1 essential oils introductory kit to give away. If you were not here when we first started, it includes a 5 milliliter of lavender, of lemon, and peppermint. And these are great. Lavender is,
Okay, so those, just so you know, Amy's given those away. Those are offered in the kits as well, too. Those are what doTERRA calls the family essential oils. These are oils that are used the most throughout every household in the world. Lavender, of course, because it's very safe for babies to use, you know, if you're spraying down your pillow for rest. Lemon is one of those things that, you know, it can be used for cleaning, for sanitizing, for a lot of various different things. I mean, lemon in your water, I guess, if you really want to. It's a great cleaning element for you as well, too. And then peppermint, right? Peppermint. When I do road trips, you guys, I'm going to tell you, peppermint cupped in your hands and inhaled gives you the immediate stimulation to be able to wake you up from just being drowsy. Peppermint is one of those things that, you know, it's an oil that you would pack in your top. You know, you've got to go back and view our preppers evacuation oils. Peppermint is one of those oils in that kit that you guys need to pack up with you, along with, I think now we're up to 13 oils in that kit now. But we started with 11 or 12. Now we're up to 13 or 14. Blue Tansy, we'll talk about that in a minute, is actually now I've added to that kit as well, too. So go ahead.
Okay, so the question is, all right, you ready for this? The question, and this is a tricky one. Okay, so think about it. It's just going to be a broad, general question. Is it okay to ingest essential oils? You can expand on it if you want, but the question is it okay to ingest essential oils? Yes or no? I know we're on.
Nobody's answering. It's mine.
Well, it's like 10-second delay. I hope Homestead got it out of mine. So, Cherish, message me your address.
Oh, there, Doug and Stacy. There you go.
Well, Cherish just showed up on my screen first.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see it.
So,
yep, Cherish first.
Email me your stuff, and I will get it to you. We will do another one. I have 5 of these guys, so I've got 4 more to go. So, pay attention. And Faith Hollow Farm said yes, appropriately. Yes. You guys are good. See, you're with
Connie's here.
Yep, Connie is here. All right, so the next one will be a little less more generic. I'll really get into some hard questions next. But all right, so now we're going to go through. I think this class is going to go over an hour, but that's okay. Cherish,
my poor animals haven't been fed yet.
I love how you act like I don't have your address. I don't write addresses down. It's so horrible. So like just message it to me and I'll send it to you. Okay, so now we're going to go through our top 5 essential oils. So Anne's going to tell you her top 5 essential oils. I'm going to tell you my top 5. We're going to tell you why we love them, why we use them. So Anne, you can go first.
So Amy actually picked mine on there, but I had to go out and just be really creative because she wrote the document. So now I went out and reached out on a limb. Okay, so there is a difference between top 5. I have, so what is that noise?
It's
so
Junior.
What I have going on.
Up and down the stairs.
Okay. So what I'm going to tell you about oils, I have a top 13. I have evacuation oils, which each of our backpacks actually contain our own oil kit if we have to walk and evac anywhere to get from point A to point B. So I'm going to put that in there really quick. Amy's listed those oils that are actually in my evac kit, plus additional more. So I reached out a little bit more in a little bit more broad spectrum. Blue Tansy is now in my top oils. Number 1, major fever reducer. Excellent for that. I put that in my evac kit this time because it was just released with the this past 2017. Copaiba is in there. I suffer from rheumatoid arthritis. Amy knows this. There are times when I was writing the book where my wrists and my fingers were so swollen, and I was in chronic pain. I was using Deep Blue. I was using Deep Blue Polycomplex. I started putting a couple drops in that with my Deep Blue, and my inflammation just, I'm not gonna lie, reduced immensely. I ended up getting veggie capsules for the times that my flare-ups were so bad that I will be ingesting them at this point too to help me out with that. I refuse to take any medicine for it. I'm really trying to work on my diet. It's very hard because I'm such a grains person. I know poor Melanie's gonna be like, get off those grains, but
I know.
I know, but diet is a huge issue for me because I'm such a foodie and I love to eat, so I'm struggling with that. But another oil. If you have any form of inflammation at all, that is the oil to go to. Oregano is actually one of my all-time favorites. It's a barnyard favorite for me because of the coccidiosis that we run through almost all year long, not just in the spring. We get a lot of rain all the way until the end of the 4th of July. I mean, we're drowning in it. I also use it for treating the beginning and onset of, getting the yuckies around the house. Someone's got a cold, someone's got something going on. Oregano is one of mine. It is a hot oil. We talked about that. Definitely use it with a carrier in a very minor dilution, especially with children. Okay. If you don't know the dilution amount and your person can't tell you what it is, yeah, figure that one out. Vetiver. I deal with a lot of individuals who have a lot of children who have been flagged inappropriately through their school district in regards to having a level of being ADD, ADHD, or autism. And so I know I don't want to say it, but I'll just say it. But so Vetiver is one of those oils that it's considered liquid Valium almost in a sense. It's a calming oil. I have a preteen hormonal kid who is just like every see these grays, that's him in my head right now. And Vetiver has really saved our family as a whole. But I will tell you, it is it's an oil that I also have in my evac kit as well too, because of the medicinal qualities in it in regards to being an antiseptic and its ability to treat wounds immediately. Thyme, another oil they have in there, again, for medicinal purposes, to boost the immune system, to help clean an area. It's one of those oils that you can actually add to just about anything in regards to your cleaning product as well too. So keep that in mind. And my last is Ylang-Ylang, because I'm touching on the emotional support for where I'm at. It's been 3 years since I've had to take an antidepressant, and normally Justin will be the first one to tell you, Anne should never miss an antidepressant during the winter months. But it's been 3 years, and when my husband can sit here and tell me that I am happier, more so, and more alert than I've been in the 12 years that he's known me in the past 3 years because I haven't had to take an antidepressant, I'm going to tell you, it works. It works. You have to know what oil blends work for you in that sense. And Ylang-Ylang is one of those oils that actually benefits me in combating my seasonal blues that I have for this time of the year. So those are mine. If you want to know what my top 13 are, go back and view our video in regards to evacuation prep with essential oils on that.
And when this video is over with, I'm going to actually go through and list all of these oils, so you guys can come back. If we're going too fast, you can come back and look at those. I do want to expand on Vetiver real quick because I was torn. I was going to add that as one of my top 5, but I thought you might do it. We use Vetiver. We don't use a lot, but I'll tell you, when Junior has been going through these hormonal things that he goes through sometimes, especially if it's during homeschool, like there are some days where he sits down, he's like, I'm not doing this. Like it's so hormonal, it's ridiculous. I can put Vetiver on him, and within, 15 minutes maybe, he is calm, he is collected, he is ready to go, he is focused, and I love Vetiver. So Vetiver is a really great oil on hand. Okay, so my top 5 oils. Okay, everybody knows this one. Tea tree. I love Melaleuca tea tree essential oil. We use Melaleuca, which is tea tree, often. I use it to clean out wounds. Like I don't even use alcohol and peroxide now. I use tea tree essential oil. I use it. It's natural antiseptic and natural antibacterial. It is really like my top. It's like my number 1 oil up there. You can use it for fungus, like if you got toe fungus or athlete's foot, or you can make a spray out of it to clean your countertops and to help, get rid of germs throughout your house. Tea tree essential oil is really, really great. I really enjoy that oil. We use it for a lot of different things. I tell this story all the time, but it's a really good story. We had a hen a couple of years ago who got attacked. We think it was a bear attack. Somehow she got away, but she had this huge gash on the back of her back. If it had been any other time along her journey, I would have called her. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to try essential oils. And so I made a little oil mixture with fractionated coconut oil and tea tree and oregano. And I put it on her back. And it was the middle of summertime. So she had already had fly eggs lay on her wound before I was able to get to her. And if you guys have ever had that, you can't pick this off.
Yeah.
Like they got to run its course. But the tea tree, not only did it heal her wound within 3 days, I mean, I could see her bone. That's how bad this was. Healed her wound in 3 days, killed all the fly eggs, and it deterred other flies from coming and laying on her. So it was a fly deterrent. It killed any of the pests that were trying to get to her, and it healed her wound in 3 days. It closed her wound up. And you know, number one, how thin chicken skin is and how horrible chickens are when it comes to like getting hurt and stuff. It's really horrible. So tea tree, that was like the saving grace for us on our homestead. So tea tree is my first one. My next one is Helichrysum. Now, Helichrysum is a very expensive oil. It's $75 wholesale, but it is one that Ann and I both like to keep Helichrysum on our homestead. One of the biggest reasons.
Yes.
It's an anticoagulant. So it actually helps stop bleeding. So if you're in a situation where you have a really horrible cut, like Junior cut his leg open, and it was on that verge of, I don't know if he needs stitches or if it's going to heal on its own. We opted not to take him, and he was better the next day. We put Helichrysum on, the bleeding stopped, and Helichrysum is also great for your skin, helps regenerate skin, helps heal your skin, and he was good as new. I mean, he was perfect the next day. And so Helichrysum is really a powerhouse oil. I'm going to say it. Helichrysum, there have been multiple studies done on Helichrysum through universities and clinical studies done where it actually causes cancer cells to shrink. Certain cancer, I'm not saying all cancer, and it actually causes cancer to not spread. And so a lot of people, a lot like John Hopkins is doing studies on Helichrysum and other oils because people are wanting to turn to alternatives to chemo and radiation, and these are some of the options for them. So they're doing all of these clinical studies and have proven that these oils can help stop a lot of spread of certain cancers, and skin cancer is one of them. Breast cancer is another. Those are the two main things that essential oils help, and we'll get into that later. But Helichrysum is an oil that I think everyone should have in their homestead and in their home. It's a really great oil. The next oil is frankincense. Yeah. Frankincense is another expensive oil. And, somebody recently said that they can't afford the expensive oils. They don't have the money for it. They can't afford it. And that's fine. We totally get that. My thing
is, hold on. Let me address that real quick, Amy. Wait 1 minute. In a 50 milliliter bottle, you have 250 drops. 250 drops in a 15 milliliter bottle. Okay. In a 5 milliliter bottle, you're looking at anywhere between you're looking anywhere between 75 and 90 drops. I'm sorry. So, break it down by dollar count per drop, right? So if you're getting frankincense on that's 250 drops that you're going to be using, and you don't need a lot of it to get an effect of what you need.
Right. Well, here's the other thing is that when you join a company like doTERRA, so if you're not part of a multi-level marketing company, yeah, it's going to be super expensive to buy all these oils. But when you join a company like doTERRA, you actually build up points to where you can get a bottle of free frankincense. You can get a bottle of free Helichrysum. That's what I did. I don't have the money to pay for that stuff. So I saved up all my points because I was ordering the smaller oils, and and I saved up my points, and I bought Helichrysum and I buy frankincense, and doTERRA has incentives. It's just, there are ways around it. But here's the thing. There are oils out there that are expensive, but to somebody who has cancer, that's a lot less expensive than therapy. And that's why people share this information, because there are alternatives to those who need that alternative. If you're bleeding, you want Helichrysum at home. You want to stop that bleeding so you don't bleed out before the ambulance gets there. There are things that you want to keep on hand because you might need it one day. And so frankincense is another one of those oils, but frankincense is one of those oils that can cross the blood-brain barrier. So when we had Samson before he passed away, we were able to kind of keep his seizures under control and not be as often with frankincense, because it's one of those oils that helps, the blood. It crosses the blood-brain barrier because the molecules in it, the molecular compounds of it, are so small that they can pass through that barrier of the brain. And so we were able, you know, people are using it for certain types of seizures. They're using it for migraines. And again, frankincense is another one that has been proven in clinical studies, and we're going to provide those to you to help with cancer, certain types of cancer. There are a lot of things that frankincense can help with. And so we keep it on hand. Frankincense is really mostly popular for skin issues too. So if you have lipomas or
anti-aging,
aging, skin regeneration, frankincense is really, a lot of companies use frankincense for in their face creams and things like that. So we do keep frankincense on hand all the time. My next one is lemongrass. I love the smell of lemongrass. I use lemongrass in all my cleaning products. I know some people don't like it, but I love lemongrass. And so
I love it. I love it.
My cleaning products, but also I'm actually finding a lot of times, even though I'm not using essential oils myself a lot, I use it for family members and friends. So my dad had swelling in his legs, and he also has an elbow issue, a joint issue. And so I've been able to make a roller bottle for him out of Helichrysum, frankincense, lemongrass, and peppermint. And it's gotten rid of that inflammation in his legs and on his elbow, and it's helped him. And so he carries it around now, and you'll see him rubbing his little roller bottle on it. And so we really love lemongrass. It helps in a lot of different ways. And the last one for me is peppermint. Peppermint is one of the most popular essential oils out there. It is in this kit that we're going to get ready to give another one away. I make tooth powder, like toothpaste out of it. It's great for headaches. It's great to reduce fever. It's great for a lot of different things, for upset stomach. If you get nauseous or car sick or sick in an airplane, you can take the bottle wherever you go with you and inhale it, and it helps get rid of nausea. If you've had a flare-up of colitis or irritable bowel syndrome or anything like that, you can take it in a capsule or in honey, and it soothes your digestive tract. I had a really, really horrible gluten flare-up months ago, and I ended up drinking some peppermint tea, and it helped with my stomach, but it didn't really help with my intestines. And so I ended up taking the peppermint oil internally, and it helped instantly get rid of that inflammation, get rid of that pain and irritation. Helichrysum, here, I'll spell it for you. Helichrysum. So peppermint is really good for that. So those are our top 5 oils for us that we use. We obviously have a lot more than that. I have a whole cabinet full of oils, and I'm still buying oils to add to my arsenal of oils. But so those are our top 5. I will come back and share those in the description below so you guys can see it if we're talking too fast for you. But I'm going to give away another one of these kits, okay? This is the introductory kit, and it comes with 3 5-milliliter bottles. It's lemon or lavender, lemon, and peppermint. So, Anne, do you have a question? Could be about our top 5 oils.
I do. So out of all the oils we listed, what are 3 that we talked about in regards to medicinal purposes that would be definitely something that you would add to your evac bag? As you could tell, I'm always practicing for evac. I live on a fault line in Washington State.
In a crisis situation, what are 3 oils out of all the oils we mentioned that you would want in your kit? So whoever answers correctly first can get it. And I'll let you do this one, Anne.
Okay. I've got to get down to the line. Hold on.
So
how do I get to the bottom?
And in the meantime, just to
anybody?
It is a 5 milliliter of lavender, of lemon, and peppermint. So hardiness.
Oh, look! Yes, she got it. She got it. Hardiness Homestead.
Hardiness approach. Got it. Yeah, I'm so happy. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, sorry. Yay!
So, if you want to email me, Heidi can put my email address up. You can email me and tell me you want one of the kits, and with your address, and I will mail it out to you probably either this weekend or on Monday. So you're going to get this kit, and I hope that you enjoy it. And everybody else is saying stuff. You guys were listening. You guys did a good job.
Connie was right. Connie's up there too. Yeah.
So congratulations, Hardiness Approach. Get with me, and I will get that out to you. Okay, so we are going to talk briefly about blends real quick, and then we're going to go on to some of the tough topics, and we're going to open it up for questions. I think this has been a really good class.
Sure.
We stayed on topic and we've given you lots of information. Okay, so do you, Anne, why don't you go first with your blends? Tell a little bit about blends first, because some people might not know.
Okay, so what blends are is doTERRA has created blends which are designed to house single oils in one bottle with a carrier. Okay, these blends are generally able to be applied if they come in at what doTERRA offers is a touch roller where it's properly diluted already with the actual doTERRA offers a 2% dilution on these guys here. So it's a 2% dilution for the bottles. If you're addressing children, again, you might want to dilute it additional, especially for skin sensitivity. But so you'll take, for example, On Guard, which is going to have clove, cinnamon, and why can't I think of what's in On Guard? Amy, help me out. Clove, cinnamon, and orange.
Here, I'll tell you exactly. See, this is the thing.
Okay, so go ahead.
This is the thing about the blends is that, you know, we can know about the blends, but
we don't remember them all.
In a lot of them that here, I will name exactly what is in On Guard. So in On Guard, we have wild orange peel, clove bud, cinnamon leaf, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus leaf, and rosemary leaf and flower.
Okay, so, before anybody says anything about eucalyptus, we're going to park that right there because Amy's got a whole thing on eucalyptus, okay? So basically what these blends are, it's a copulation of oils into an oil bottle, okay? If you buy the oil itself, there is no carrier in it. It's the straight oil. If you buy what they call a touch roller, it is diluted with the appropriate amount of carrier to be used, okay? And there are certain oils that do that. So that's what we're looking at, blends, okay? So individuals who are like, I can't afford to buy 10 of these oils to make my own blend. But oh wait, there's an oil for it that's already done, like the respiratory blend. Someone was saying something about asthma and things like that. Respiratory blend is actually a beautiful blend. I love it. We really believe in it as a family, and we use it often here. And so that's what you're looking at. It's a mixture of oils. Some oils that doTERRA doesn't even carry in their collection, but they add to it to create oil that is able to be addressed for certain ailments. Okay, so that's what blends are. My blend is, the first one is Clary. Clary is designed for women for hormonal times and moments that would definitely need it. I am 46 this year. I have started early menopause. So Clary is an oil that I use definitely quite often nowadays. If there are men here, I'm so sorry, but my menstrual cycle as well too. I use it. I'm excited. Well, I'm about to douse Justin with it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. So Clary is one of those oils that is going to really help you with hormonal balance in that sense. Clary would be equivalent to what we have Clary Sage for, and Clary Sage is a single oil. Clary is the blend oil. I'm excited about Clary not in a sense that I'm excited for my daughter to have her period, but I'm excited to be able to offer for her an alternative for cramping, for hormonal support during her menstrual cycle once it starts, because I have used it in regards to being, the beginning stages of my menopause, and it has helped me tremendously. And to be honest with you, I don't use it as part of emotional support, but on the times that I use it during my menstrual cycle, I'm nicer than I've ever been. And so my husband can actually verify that for you. So Clary is definitely something that I always have in my case. Always, 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 always. Balance is my other one. Emotional support. I see a lot of us talking about emotional support here. Balance is the equivalent of walking in the woods, that earthy tone for you that is going to help. Giovanni responds very well to balance because he loves cedar wood. So Balance and Vetiver are his go-to oils. Serenity is my other emotional support oil that I partner with other oils, and Serenity is more of the floral family in that sense. The new Serenity actually carries whole wood oil in it and a little tiny bit of Vetiver. Me personally, I do add Vetiver on top of that if I'm addressing things. Lola, again, 9 years old. She is in the gifted program. Her mind does not shut down at all. Like, she could be up at 10 o'clock at night crying because her mind is continually racing. She does have her own oils, and she has her own little sachet that she carries her blends in. One of them is a sleep blend that she takes to her friend's house when she has sleepovers that contains Serenity in it, as well as Vetiver. She'll roll the back of her spine and her feet behind her ears, and she can be asleep in 10 minutes with Serenity. Digestzen is the other oil that I use, and Digestzen is tummy issue oils. I no longer have a gallbladder. 2 years ago, I had to have it emergency removed in an emergency procedure. Never had gallbladder issues. It just happened one day and it's gone. Since then, I've struggled with tummy issues after eating certain foods and things like that. Digestzen has saved me like tremendously in regards to soothing my tummy. Console, I added this in there because we're talking about emotional support, and that's one of my partners that I use throughout the day. When we talk about emotional support and oils, remember, you know, it's not going to always be the same oil every single time. You are going to have to rotate depending on your mood of how you're doing things and how your oil is being addressed on that. When Justin found out we were doing this, he wanted me to make sure I added his favorite oils in there. Tries, Justin has horrible seasonal allergies. He was taking up to 4 to 5 Claritin a day. He actually spun out his motorcycle, pulling into the parking lot of his work because he was so high on Claritin, and he was angry all the time. And so when I had him stop right in the middle of allergy season and try Tries, he was nervous at first, but Tries is the pollen allergy problem solver. So that is something that Justin will tell you that it's his testimony. He uses Tries, he loves Tries, and he has never had to take Claritin in 3 years, and he's nicer for it. The other thing Justin believes in completely is Deep Blue. We use it as well too on the homestead. If you are sore, your body hurts, and you know that hot pack and that ice pack just isn't doing for it, Deep Blue does it for him. He will add Deep Blue to a bath as well too, along with Aroma Touch. And he is able to really truly work into his rotator cuffs, which are torn from just construction, where he won't have surgery until he retires. So those are my blends. So we have a hormonal blend, an emotional support blend, emotional support, tummy, emotional support, seasonal allergies, and muscle.
Hardiest approach. She says she has a son who needs Tries. I actually have a whole bottle of Tries. If he wants to try it, I'd be happy to send it to you because I don't use it. We don't really have allergies.
How old is he?
He's probably older. But okay, so did you go through all your blends? Are you done with your blends?
I'm done.
Okay.
Check.
All right, so I'm gonna run through I only have two major blends because Ian covered most of them. He's an adult, yeah. Okay. So hardiness approach, when you email me, or if you want to email me again, just let me know if you want. I can just send you a sample, or I can send you the whole bottle if he wants to try it. So, okay. So my blends, Breathe. I already talked about this, the Breathe blend. We really love the Breathe blend for respiratory issues. So when Junior is sick, I put it in a diffuser and put it beside his bed. And he actually asks for it. If he's gotten sick or he's dealing with allergies, he asks for the diffuser, and he knows that it helps him. So I'll put the Breathe blend into the diffuser. Let me tell you really quickly what Breathe has in it. And we will go from there. Okay, so Breathe has laurel leaf, eucalyptus leaf, peppermint plant, melaleuca leaf, lemon peel, cardamom seed, Ravensara leaf essential oils. So that's everything that is in the Breathe blend. Breathe is, now let me just, I forgot to touch on this in the safety thing. Breathe, when you're, not Breathe, but when you're diffusing essential oils with your kids, children actually breathe a lot faster than adults do. And so your dosage in your diffuser for your kid might need to be less than the dosage for your diffuser for you, because children actually take in more of the diffusing essential oil than you would when you're breathing. They take in 50% more than what you do because they're breathing more often. So just keep that in mind when you're using it for kids. This is where we see a lot of conflict around using peppermint and eucalyptus with kids, because we are giving them adult dosages or adult diffusion dosage rather than a child dosage. We're not cutting it in half. So eucalyptus and peppermint, no, we shouldn't be using it on kids under a certain age, but then when you need it as a medicine, it is most certainly can be used. You just need to use it the proper way. So Breathe is my go-to blend for respiratory issues. I have used Breathe on us. I have used Breathe on animals who are suffering from an allergy or something. So it helps overall. It is like, if you want to blend, get that blend, because I think most people can deal with respiratory issues. The other blend is something that I make. So here's the awesome thing about blends is that if doTERRA or your oil company doesn't make a blend, you can make your own blend. It doesn't have to be 50 oils. It can be 3 oils, and you can get little roller bottles or regular bottles and make your own blend. And so one of my top blends is a joint blend. This fluctuates. It changes depending on the person, and it's Helichrysum, Lemongrass, Peppermint, and Frankincense. And I do this especially for my dad. I've done this for Mark's grandma when she had some joint issues, and they both said that it helped really, really well. And so you can utilize oils and use fractionated coconut oil and make your own roller bottles when you need to, and make your own blends when you need to. So that is one of my other go-to blends. So I think we're done with the blends section. We do need to go ahead and give away another one of these introductory kits, but hold on. What do you need? No, goodbye.
No, I can't. My dad's going to be
Goodbye. Oh. Okay. So let me think of a question. This is for the 3rd introductory kit. This is lavender, 5 milliliter of lavender, lemon, and peppermint. 3 of your top oils that you're going to want in your cabinet. Now, I'm going to show you what this looks like. These are the 3 smaller bottles. These are not the full-size bottles, but again, they're still a great asset to have. So they're the smaller bottles. So my next question is, let me go back and look. Okay. What is the blend that we talked about? Okay. You got to tell me the proper name of the blend that we talked about that helps with, specifically with women hormonal issues. So go.
Oh.
Anne's like, I know.
Go. It's my go-to. Hint.
And you get one of these introductory kits. Yes, she got it again.
What? You're kidding.
Hardiness approach.
She is really paying attention.
She is really paying attention. Okay, hardiness approach.
Oh, now here they come.
If you want it to go to the next person, we can. The next person is Out of Goshen. If you want to do that, we can send it to Out of Goshen. I'll wait for her to say. Man, everybody was paying attention with the Clary. Well, all the women were paying attention with the Clary sage.
Yeah.
And it was actually called Clary Calm.
Clary Calm. Yes.
There is an oil that's called Clary Sage. That's just Clary Sage. Okay, Out of Goshen, can you please email me that you won and with your address? Heidi will put the address up. So Out of Goshen, make sure you email me your information and your address. But
WD-40.
Oil called Clary Sage, and I have actually used that for hormone issues too. Yeah, there is a delay. There's probably like a 10 to 15 second delay, and that's normal with live streams. So I have 2 more of these to give away. So we're gonna go through a couple more things, and then I'll give the final 2 away at the end. Okay, so Anne, let's see. We are going to talk about some tough topics, but maybe we should do questions and answers real quick.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, so now if you guys have questions, go ahead and start throwing them up there in the live chat, and we will start answering those. And then if you are interested in learning about some of the tough topics at the end, we will make it quick, and then we will do the final 2 giveaways of the introductory kit. But just remember, you have to be on here live to get the introductory kit to win. So go ahead and let us know if you have any questions from how to get started, if you have an issue, how something works. I mean, throw out some questions. We're kind of open to just about anything as long as it's kind. And let's see. Oh,
Oh my gosh, nobody has questions.
Yeah, so Cheryl's saying everyone was answering before the video even asked the question. That's a delay on your end. Each internet provider is different, so it just depends.
Right.
That's the bad thing about delays. All right, so Grandpa's Farm is asking how to get started.
Okay, where are we at? I don't even know where we're at. I can't see. Who asked that question?
Grandpa's Farm said, "How do I get started?" So so
okay.
That question could be broad range. So in the beginning, we went through and we said, pick your top 5 issues. What are the top 5 issues and reasons why you want to get into holistic remedies? So for a lot of people, that looks like headaches or joint pain or whatnot. And so he said, is there an oil for my bad back? And this is a question for you.
Yes. So, you definitely want to look into something that's going to reduce inflammation, and that's going to be something like your lemongrass is a huge reducer of inflammation as well, too. The Copaiba is definitely one of the oils that you can use to reduce inflammation. Deep Blue comes in an oil and a rub. I like the oil if there's going to be a bath that's going to be drawn where you can soak in it and you're mixing in with an aroma touch and lemongrass as well too. If you're looking just to apply that topically because you got to keep working on the property or whatever the case is, Deep Blue Rub is great. I just take it and I just really work it into that muscle. It has helped with oh gosh, I'm gonna get dinged for this. It's helped for my plantar fasciitis as well too. So Deep Blue is going to be great for those for your inflammation and muscle tissue issues and things like that. That is where you want to use. If you want to address it even deeper than that, like Justin has to do, he uses Deep Blue Polycomplex. Deep Blue Polycomplex he can use probably for 3 days, and he's fine for a couple of weeks on top of that. It's an internal. It's a combination of a whole bunch of different items, and he takes 2 capsules a day, and then, like I said, he'll take it for 2, maybe 4 days, and he can actually recover, allow his body to rest and recover. And he's good for a couple of weeks. And this is the man that does construction 45 hours a week. He's not a spring chicken, but he definitely could not continue to do the job that he does without it. So we can actually add that to you. If you send either Amy and I an email, we can definitely help you with that.
Okay, thank you, Hardness Support, for the compliment. Okay, so the next question, I'm trying to go in line here. The next question is from Faith Hollow Farms. Does doTERRA list oils you can and can't use during pregnancy and nursing? Yes. And as we talked about this in the beginning, you can get this book too, the Modern Essentials book. But when you join doTERRA, they actually send you a package, and it has a catalog in there, and it'll actually tell you what you can use during pregnancy and nursing and things like that. They actually break it down by oil, and so does this book. This book breaks it down by oil too. So it has a really quick reference chart that you can go through and see. Okay. Connie,
let me address that hold on. I'm sorry. Let me address that pregnancy nursing bit real quick. So peppermint is one of the oils that is really highly suggested that you're very, very cautious of in regards to using. Here's where it goes into play, right? So some women, my daughter-in-law, for example, is nursing currently right now. She does not apply it topically onto her, and it does not reduce her milk flow. Okay. She does diffuse it for emotional support, and it's one of those oils that has actually benefited her in regards to emotional support. So diffusing it is completely different than applying it topically. If you are nervous in any way, shape, or form, just eliminate it completely from your system. But peppermint is one of those oils in regards to nursing. If you want to dry up, for example, applying it topically is going to help you dry up.
Right. Okay. So, Connie asked, what was the event or issue that was your tipping point to start using oils?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
That was Lola, Connie. My 9-year-old daughter, she had intense, I'm going to get dinged again. I'm just might as well say it. She had migraines at 9, and I couldn't put her on epileptic medicine. She didn't have epilepsy. There was no way I was going to do that. Justin was very against it. She was our turning point. There was nothing else I could do. I watched her suffer for days on end. The past tense, the frankincense and the Digestzen. I have empowered my children with oils. I empower them. There is no way that I was going to venture into this journey without giving my family the empowerment to move forward. They all have a diffuser in their room. They all have a satchel that carries their own oils. Lola sneaks them into school. She panics during testing. She has anxiety in regards to, just being able to function sometimes. But she's a perfectionist. That's where it stems from her. She has sleeping issues because her mind doesn't turn off. So my 9-year-old daughter brought us onto this venture and 3 years ago. And honestly, she is the biggest advocate. She'll go to school and someone goes, my tummy hurts. She goes, she'll tell them, you should tell your mommy to buy you Digestzen. It's going to help your tummy.
Well,
so that's the point, Connie, for me.
Yeah, my tipping point was probably, you know, we went through some natural disaster type things. So Virginia had a huge earthquake a few years back. And then we had, I'll say this word and the people that are near here know what it means. We had the dreaded derecho, which is this huge windstorm that left us without power for a long time. And the people who lived behind us, they actually couldn't get out. Their entire road, there was no way in and no way out. And there was actually a house that burned down back there because the fire department couldn't get to them. They had to cut through hundreds of trees to even get down the road. My tipping point was going through these natural disasters and having a child who had asthma and me thinking, what if I can't call an ambulance and an ambulance can't get to me? What if something happens and I run out of medicine? You know, my constant thought as a mom was, what if? And so that really began our holistic journey. And so it was just natural for me I picked up herbs first, and then I heard about essential oils and really got into them then because they were a much quicker way. I didn't fully understand how herbs worked in the beginning. Essential oils were easier for me to understand and quicker for me to use. Now that I know about herbs more, it all goes hand in hand. So that was kind of the tipping point for me. It was to go through those situations and think, okay, what if I'm ever in a crisis situation and there's no medicine? There's no way for me to get to a doctor. And so that was the instant for me that I knew. Out of Goshen says, is there an oil or blend that works well for eczema? Before we answer that, number one, there is. I'll let Ann take that. But this is one of those
am I ready? Okay.
This is one of those situations where I'm going to tell you that in my professional opinion, I would suggest that you check out I just left my Oregon grapefruit. It's really good for eczema. You can make an ointment out of it and it works really well. But Anne, I'll let you take this question in regard to essential oils.
So if you're looking to use essential oils in regards to eczema, you know, remember, Amy and I will just flat out tell you if there's an herb that's going to be a little bit beneficial for it. But if you want to really create a cream-based oil, Giovanni, growing up as a little boy, had horrible eczema, really, really bad. So Melaleuca has been one of the first things. It's going to clean the area. It's going to really, eczema is a skin bacteria, right? So it's going to clean the area. It's going to totally take care of that bacteria that's growing in there. Lavender as well too. Vitamin E in there as well too. I also like to add. Okay, what did I just say? I just said Melaleuca. It's so hard when you're not looking at them. Melaleuca, lavender, vitamin E. I like losing it here. We're entertaining, sorry. Lavender, Melaleuca, vitamin E. Dang it, where's my other one? I'm gonna have to go look at my recipe book. So basically those two, okay, there's actually three that I use and it's drawing me on a blank that I can't figure it out. So basically that's what you're looking to clean the area, right? And that's what your Melaleuca is going to do. Your lavender is going to be your skin healant on that. Frankincense is going to be, it rejuvenates the skin. So does myrrh. But however, frankincense actually is a lot softer and a lot soother for myrrh, especially if you're addressing young children. Okay, so I wouldn't use myrrh on young children. It can tend to be a little bit more acidic to the skin, where it will actually remove like the dead follicles in the skin. That's not what you want to do with children with sensitive skin. So use frankincense in lieu of that. That's going to be your best option. I do use myrrh in my my face serum that I use, and actually, you know, that's a great way to use it if you wanted to. Geranium oil. If you're going to use geranium oil, it's one of those oils that stinks, or you're going to absolutely love it. I think geranium oil stinks, so I use a very small amount. Geranium oil will actually recover the skin follicles. So that is a great one to use if you have any kind of skin issues as well too. So let me backtrack. We'll say it really slow. Frankincense, lavender, geranium. I already forgot what I was. Frankincense, Melaleuca. Yes. Yeah. No more for children unless you're adult. I would not use myrrh on children. Yes. Yeah. So I would use those.
So what Ann said is true. Eczema is can be a bacterial thing. Eczema can also be a leaky gut symptom. Like if you have leaky gut, eczema can be a symptom of leaky gut. Your skin is the final detoxification process of your body. In fact, even respiratory issues like asthma can be a symptom of leaky gut. But your skin is one of the final exports of toxins on your body. And a lot of people get eczema, and I'm one of these people, because they have a food allergy or because they have a leaky gut. I had the worst case of eczema that my dermatologist had ever seen. It was on my hands, and she even said if it got worse, it would go on my feet. And I literally, it affected the way that my fingernails were growing. That's how bad it had gotten. And she was applying me these steroid creams, and it would go away, and then it would come back. I took myself off of gluten, and I healed my body, and the eczema went away, and it's never come back. So try to play with your nutrition too. If it's, obviously use the essential oils and the ointments to help relieve those symptoms, but kind of consider what your diet is like, and if you might have an allergen or if you have a leaky gut as well. Cheryl said delay is cramping my style to participate in giveaways. Okay, so here with the next two giveaways, what we'll do is we'll ask the question, and you cannot answer it until we say go. Okay, so that's how the giveaway will work for the last two. Thank you, Teresa, for ordering my book. Let's see what
order mine.
Or yeah, Anne has a book too. It does talk about some herbs in there, and she has a preserving book.
Just joking.
Cheryl says we were here during the earthquake and during the derecho. Yeah. So the funny thing is, my husband was in Home Depot when the earthquake hit, and he didn't feel it at all because it was on a single level building. I was on a top level of a building, and I thought I was going to die. Like, I thought I was going to have to jump out the window. That's how bad it was. Kathleen said my turning point was several years ago in an attempt to get my mom off 14 meds she was on. That's a great turning point. Behind our blue door, Amber said Siberian fir helped my 11-year-old daughter with eczema. That's good to know.
Yeah.
And then
that's another one. Yeah, good one.
The carrier. Kathleen said, and use rosemary on your upper lip, stimulates brain and helps with memory. Yep, I've heard that before. Yep, and sometimes yeast overgrowth for eczema. Or in your body in general. Anne, what is your book? So we just said, so Anne's book is called The Farm Girl's Guide to Preserving the Harvest. If one of my moms wants on Amazon and grab it, you can put a link up.
It reached #1 in preserving and canning today. Number one.
I will grab the link and do it because I know exactly where it is.
Sorry, we're off track now. Sorry.
She just put it, it just came out for pre-order this week. So that is her book, and it's all about, I've already read it. It's all about preserving the harvest.
Yes, you did.
Goes through canning, fermenting, dehydrating, meat curing. She talks about herbs. You talk about harvesting and storing herbs. You talk about freeze drying. She talks about all kinds of stuff. Like, I can't wait to get it because it's going to be helpful. And then of course you guys already know my book is all about herbs and stuff. So, okay. So are there any more questions? If not, we're going to go ahead and do another giveaway of the introductory kit, lavender, lemon, and peppermint. So my next question, or do you have a question?
No.
Let me think of one.
Someone had asked about blue tansy.
Oh.
For fever reducing.
Oh yeah, fever reducing.
I would use blue tansy for fever. Yeah. I would use blue because it is kind of new out there for people. I use blue tansy for fever reducing in regards to topically. It would be something that I would definitely apply topically. It's safest that way if you're going to use it in oil form at that point. Just use it as a cooling agent on the back of your neck, allow it to absorb properly, bottom of the feet kind of application. 2,000 pores on the 2,000 pores are found on the bottom of your feet as well too. So that would be my suggestion for blue tansy. It's not one that I have ever ingested or, would ingest, not because it's not capable of being it, but because it's such a very potent oil that topically would be my suggestion for you.
Okay, so my question, this is an in-depth question to see if you guys were listening. There is an oil, it was one of my favorite oils, and I need the name of the oil. Don't say it until I say go, okay? It can stop bleeding, it can help with cancer patients, and it is one of the top oils that you want. It's kind of hard to say, and somebody asked me how to spell it. So Ready, set, go. And you are entering to win the introductory kit, lavender, lemon, and peppermint, 5 milliliter bottles. And you have to spell it correctly if you answer. Look at that. No,
there it is. There it is.
You're not spelling it correctly. Spell it correctly. Teresa Wendell got it first. I think she spelled it correctly. Yes. Oh, Heidi, you were almost there. Oh, no. Yep. Okay. Yep. Teresa is it. So, Teresa, if you, I know the name spelling is so hard. Teresa, if you can send me an email. Helichrysum is the one we were looking for. Frankincense is a good one. It does help with cancer, but it didn't specifically help with stopping up the bleeding. So, Teresa, if you send me an email, Heidi will throw up the link and send me your address and I'll get that to you. We have one more. There's one more chance to win. So we're going to touch on some of these hot topics real quick. And then we will give away the final one and close it out. So, Anne, was there any hot topic that you specifically wanted to talk about? I have the list here, but we don't have to go through all of them.
I think hot topics are really hard for some people. I think that if you add them to the description on the bottom to allow them to do their own research is going to be great. I think that my hot topic of conversation is knowing how to properly use your oils and your dilution percentage. You will sometimes see people that say, fill that roller bottle, 60 drops of this, 50 drops of that, and things like that. That is my biggest fear for individuals. My other biggest fear for individuals is that they take one source and not compare it to another source. I am a firm believer in researching everything that you're going to do at least 3 times before you do it. If you don't have an answer after 3 times, then maybe you need to research a little bit more. Know how to use your oils. Be very cautious in regards to using your oils. And I would just really honestly suggest that if you're incorporating oils for a very first time in regards to going full on incorporating them, please take your time and really spending the time to talk to the people who are you've signed on with. Okay, it is, like I said, it doesn't have to be me or Amy. It doesn't have to be doTERRA. It could be Young Living, but I would not suggest any other oils for you to use. Sorry, I'm going to say it. There's no other oil company that I would really use, but on top of that, please, my hot topic, co-impact resourcing. Imperative to using the best oil that you're going to get. Additional to that is third-party testing. Imperative to know what oil is, where it's coming from. Each bottle has a QR code on it. You can scan the QR code and get your report. doTERRA does not hide that. And then the other thing is dilution. Please know your dilution percentage in regards to whether or not you're going to treat a young toddler, if you're going to treat a preteen, if you're going to treat yourself. There are different dilutions in regards to that. The Modern Essential book is great, but if someone is reading from you the Modern Essential book without being able to give you more information on that, be hesitant in regards to who you're signing with that, okay? Somebody has to be able to, especially since we're homesteaders, be able to talk about essential oils on your property, essential oils on your livestock, essential oils on your family, and even how to cook with essential oils to maximize the benefits of them. Adding essential oil to food to give it the flavor of the food is one thing. Being able to cook with an essential oil in regards to maintaining the beneficial qualities for it is completely different. So if you see a recipe that says, add some cumin to your chili, yes, go ahead and do that, because you need cumin because you don't have it in your pantry. But if you want to maintain the beneficial and medicinal qualities of it, that is completely different. You need to find someone who can be able to speak that to you, okay? Find the right fit for you, you guys. I know you want to support your friends, but find the right fit for what you need for your property, your homestead, and your farm. That's my sermon. There you go.
Somebody asked, what is leaky gut? So leaky gut is basically... medicinally, leaky gut isn't really a diagnosis of anything. It just shows that your body, the digestive tract, is not on track. It can be a broad range of things. It can be your gut or your intestines could be more easily permeable, which means toxins are escaping when they're not being fully digested. It can be the mucus lining of your stomach can be messed up, where toxins are escaping through your stomach lining. It can be any part of your digestive tract which is basically leaking toxins, or is extremely inflamed and not working properly. So that's the broad range spectrum of leaky gut. A lot of people, even Hippocrates said that your number one health issue begins with your gut. So if you don't have a healthy gut, chances are you're going to be unhealthy.
Yes.
Because the nutrition,
Yes.
more than anything, more than herbs, more than modern medicine, nutrition is the number one place to begin with your healthcare. Because if you're not eating right and you're not putting the good things in your body that you should be, if you're eating a bunch of processed food and chemical filled food, it takes a toll on your body. One of the things that I have always said to people, people are like, well, does it really help you since you're an adult? Yes, it can help me. I've kind of done damage over the years from being a child, being on antibiotics all the time, all kinds of different things with my body. But the reality is that I am starting with my child. And as we know, even with livestock, it's the same with humans. Generations of things happen. Our bodies now are different than our bodies were, a century ago. And here's the other thing we need to, and maybe this is my hot topic, and I talk about this in my book. A lot of people, they talk about folk method of herbalism and holistic care. Well, the reality is that what worked for people 100 years ago, probably not going to work for us now, because those people weren't eating Cheetos on their lunch break, and they didn't have all the food and things that we put into our bodies now. They didn't come in contact with the toxins that we do now. They didn't even live the same life that we do now. And so for us to take a completely folk method approach to herbalism, that includes essential oils, because essential oils have been around for centuries, it's unsafe. It's unsafe for us to say, well, because somebody, the Egyptians used it, that means it's going to work for us. Chances are it's not going to work for you. Your molecular setup and your genetics are totally different now than what they used to be back then. In my opinion, I'm trying to reverse that. I'm starting with my kid, treating him holistically from the very beginning. Nutrition, herbs, essential oils, that's setting him up for success. Not only that, but if he continues to live this lifestyle, that starts changing the molecular compound of his children. His children get better genetics. His children's children get better genetics. We see this in livestock. We do this in livestock for you that are homesteaders.
Yes.
You hold back the best and most healthy livestock, and then you take that livestock and you breed them to your other most healthy livestock. You hold back those qualities that you want, and you breed it to get a better conformation of standard or a better health. We see this in pets and livestock, where you hold back the most healthy and the ones who are most disease resistant. We do this with plants. It's just science. We hold these things back, we breed them and reproduce them, and therefore we have this whole line of healthy genetics and healthy composition, and the same with humans. Starting now, a lot of people think, well, if I start now, I'm 70 years old, it's not going to make a difference for me. Well, it might not make a difference for you in the long run, but it might make a difference for your kids. It might make a difference for your grandkids. It might make a difference 5 generations from now, because it started with you. And I think that we have to look at herbalism, essential oils, herbs, good nutrition from this level of standard, is that, it can help us while we're here now. But ultimately, we're here, and this is why Anne do what we do. We don't do it because we're just trying to make money off of it. We want to leave a better world behind for our kids. We want to leave a better world behind for our grandkids. And if I can sit here and say that if my child continues living the same lifestyle he's living now, that my grandkids are going to be healthier because of it, that I made a difference in their lives, that's completely worth it to me. That's why none of this stuff that we go through on a regular basis. I asked mods to come in here this morning just because I knew sometimes we have some trolls that come around, and we still do it because we believe in it and because we're living it. And it makes a difference when you can connect with people who are actually living this lifestyle. They're not trying to make a quick buck off of it. They're not trying to make a name for themselves. They're actually living it, and it's important to them. Hang out with those people, because that's your tribe. Those are the people you want to be with. Those are the people you want to learn from. And you know what? You're going to make mistakes. I have a friend, she put basil essential oil on her kid's nose, and she forgot, her husband forgot to dilute it, and it burned the heck out of him. But you know what? You get back up and you try again. It's a learning process. Our ancestors, they didn't know what they were doing half the time. You know, every generation, Ann and I were just talking about this the other day, every single generation had scientists. Egyptian scientists don't know what we know now. But that's the beauty of the human race. We are constantly trying to further information and study the information that we're presented with right now. And that's what sets us up for success in the future. If we were to completely just eradicate the thought of herbalism and herbs and essential oils in our lives, that how crazy of us to think that this isn't important. This is a completely valid opportunity to, I mean, we see the efficacy of essential oils and herbs in clinical studies. And, you know, that's why we're here. This is why we do what we do. It's a hot topic. It is not for the faint of heart, because we get attacked constantly for it.
No.
Constantly. And trust me, if I didn't believe in this lifestyle enough, I would stop right now. Because even just this morning, getting attacked for it and getting weird messages, I would stop. But it doesn't make a difference to me, because that's not why we're doing this. We're doing it to leave a better generation behind for our world. And that's our responsibility. This is how Ann and I are doing it. So that's my speech for the for the video.
Yes, it was a good speech. Good soapbox moment.
Yes, that was my soapbox. So, yeah, so 1890s, 70s Homestead said, yeah, like melting plastic with your essential oil when you're prepping soap ingredients. 1870s Homestead, I'm not like a soap maker, because soap scares the heck out of me. But I'll get to it one day. This
year, we're doing it.
Like, soap scares me a little bit. But anyhow, so do you have anything else to add? Otherwise, I'm going to link a lot of this stuff below, stuff that we didn't go over. We're going to link it below. And you, Mr. Rain said that was a mighty big soapbox. It's just, I'm sorry, I'm passionate about it. There's so much misinformation out there on both sides, on herbalist side and on people who do not believe in holistic remedies. And I think that there's a middle ground that we can all come through and say, you know what, there's good and bad on both sides. And we need to why not explore it? Why not explore it if we have a next cure for cancer? If we have a cure for ADHD, you know, if there's different reasons, you know, we can come together on a lot of things. So that's why I share it.
I will say this. I'm going to add this real quick is that, you know, the world that we're living right now does not and cannot continue to exist the way that it is. Okay. We understand that. I mean, especially as homesteaders, we've reclaimed our food source. We've reclaimed living simple. We've reclaimed owning who we are in the aspect of the types of health proprieties that we're actually incorporating into our system and our bodies. You know, going into a holistic approach is new for a lot of people. They want to learn how to do it. They're just afraid to do it. And, you know, it's okay to be afraid to do it. That's what we're trying to tell you right here. Don't be fearful of something you don't know. I mean, always question it, always wonder about it, but don't be fearful of it. I mean, we're trying to go back and seek a lifetime that doesn't exist, hasn't existed for many years. You know, I'm right in the middle of watching Rotten documentary, the Rotten documentary on Netflix, okay? And so even in that documentary, the first thing they say is even scientists and doctors do not understand why our food source is killing us. Well, if you really want to think about it, in short, we know why our food source is killing us, but, you know, they have to say it like that in the sense that other people can actually comprehend and understand, okay? We go to doctors. I have to go to a doctor. My children go to a doctor. There's no way. Even back, if you want to go back to the 1810s, there were doctors, okay? Even go back to the Egyptians, there were doctors. Go back to the Romans, there were doctors. But the point of it is that learn how to incorporate what you have to do to incorporate it. You guys, the change is hard. The change is going to be difficult. Holistic change can be slower than popping a pill, you know, and that's what people get frustrated at. There's no instant relief for a lot of things. And, you know, you use it. And if you build your genetics, like Amy was saying, you know, it's going to do something a little bit different for you for where you're at and where your children are at in the end. And that is true. I mean, think about livestock. We can't think about it like this for humans, but, you know, changing the genetics of a livestock, is going to be completely different. So we're doing that through the use of a holistic approach for our children. I mean, to get them to where they need to be a little bit more empowered, a little bit more embedded. And guys, let your children own their holistic plan as much as you can. Let them own it. I have empowered my children in that sense, and they are stronger for it. They really are. You know, all I have to say is to Giovanni is, you know what? You need to go oil up, man. Turn on that diffuser and oil up. Don't come out for 30 minutes. He's a different kid. You know, they own it. They know.
Yep.
So keep that in mind.
Yep. So, some of you might be interested in learning about how, I have one more kit to give away. But before that, how do you get essential oils? Where do you buy from? Obviously, Ann and I are going to tell you if you want to buy oils, you can certainly buy them from us. You know, Heidi can throw up our doTERRA links. You can buy them retail price from our website, or you can join doTERRA. You do not have to join. Let's just put that out there right now.
Amy, why don't you give the benefits of why joining doTERRA is going to end up saving them money in that sense?
So basically, if you join doTERRA, it's $35 for the first year. You become a member. It's like a BJ's or Costco membership. You get the wholesale pricing. Right. It's $35 for the first year. It's $25 every year after that, but you get a free bottle of peppermint essential oil, which is valuable for us because we use peppermint, at least 3 or 4 bottles of peppermint every year. And so you're basically rejoining for free every year if you use peppermint a lot, because that's almost the price of a bottle of peppermint oil. You get the wholesale cost if you sign up to be a doTERRA Wellness Advocate. That means if you want to sell to other people or have other people on your team, you definitely rack up more points to get free oils. There are free oils that you can get every month with your order that you put in. But otherwise, if you just want to sign up just to get the wholesale cost, you don't have to sell anything. You don't have to buy anything. You know, you can just buy it when you want to and get the discounts and all that. So there are multiple different benefits to get the wholesale cost. There are different options. So if you're interested, let Ann or I know. Cheryl, yes, I have salve recipes in my book. There are a lot of different recipes in there. And then there are kit options. So if you can pay for the $35 for the first year, there are also kits. If you can't afford the kit, that's fine. But if you are really serious about essential oils and you want a lot of these oils that we talked about, there are some great kits that you can buy. And you can sign up, now and buy a kit later, or you can buy a kit when you sign up. But there are great discounts that if you were to buy those oils individually, it would cost you like 50% more than it would if you buy a kit. So, think about that and, email me first or email Ann first. Ann and I are on the same team. So the reality is that, whether you join under me or her or somebody else on our team, if you're watching this, I know we have some of our team members in here. If you sign up for that person, you're still going to be on our team. So,
you still have access to us and,
yep. And chances are if you sign up under us, we're going to, place you further down our line anyhow. But you still have access to us one way or the other for questions or information that you might need. So there are a lot of benefits, and looking for herb types to use. I have lots of EOs, just not doTERRA. I use a lot of different oils before I switched to doTERRA. And I got to tell you, I just took the leap. I took the leap. I paid the $35 membership. I did not buy a kit when I first got started.
No, she didn't.
No, I did not, because I couldn't afford it. But you know what? Now I have like probably 85 different bottles of oil in my cabinet. So I'm going to
address the, can I address her looking for herb types to use? I have lots of EOs, just not doTERRA brands. What are you using those EOs for? I'm sorry, I don't know anybody here. I'm sorry, I apologize.
And if you're using
was she the one that used it for soap making?
Yeah, you don't have to use really like doTERRA oils for soap making, because that's just going to burn off anyhow from the lye.
Okay, so if you are using it for just soap making, continue to use them for soap making. But if you are using them, if you're planning on using them to cross that border in regards to health, just really think about that. But for soap making, of course, use whatever oil you want, because you're only trying to get the scent of the soap. Okay, the scent is aromatic as well too. So, use the scent. It's not going to be as potent as diffusing it, but in soap making, you're gathering it for the scent itself. But so just just the do the oils go off rancid?
Okay, so essential oils.
What does that mean? What is she saying?
The essential oils, no, I guess they're shelf life. So essential oils can last between 10 and 15 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, that's one of the things that Anne and I have talked about before.
Storage is important. Yeah. Storage is important of them.
You can buy a bottle and it's going to last you years because of the, molecular compounds in that oil, and it's naturally antiseptic. It's like honey. Honey is naturally antibacterial and naturally antiseptic. It lasts for forever. Essential oils are the same way.
Right, and because it has no carrier.
Yeah, unless you're mixing it with something. So if you're mixing it in a clean bottle or with a carrier oil, then no, I wouldn't use it surpassing a year. So it just depends on, what you're using it for. Okay, so we have one more of these away. There's lavender, lemon, and peppermint. Let me look at my list here to see what kind of question can I do. Okay, okay, this is going to be a hard one. Okay, I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to wait probably like 30 seconds before I tell you to answer it, okay? So one of the oils that Anne talked about, it helps with, it creates a calming effect, and it can be an expensive oil, and it's mainly used for focus and, people who have ADHD, or, I had mentioned that I use it with Junior when he's going through some hormonal issues and needs to be calm, and Anne said the same thing. So the answer to this, it has to be spelled right. This is the oil that we are looking for the answer to win the last introductory kit, which is a 5 milliliter of lavender, lemon, and peppermint. Don't answer until I say go, and you have to spell it right, okay? So it's the oil that helps with ADHD, with, calming effect, with hormones, a lot of different things. I think Anne referred to it as liquid Valium, and we both use it quite often. So are you ready? I think it's been 30 seconds since I said the first one. And if you're ready, get set and go for the introductory kit of lavender, lemon, and peppermint. And it's the final kit. And when you win, I will send it to you. You are welcome, Hardiness Approach. Thank you for joining us.
No, Danielle's duck head is wrong.
No, doTERRA Homestead got it. It's Vetiver. It is Vetiver.
It is Vetiver.
And so
it is Vetiver.
And she spelled it right. So, Linda, I have your address, so I will send the final one out to you. But if you could send me an email just to remind me, or a text message to send it to you, that would be great. All right.
So what are we doing next week?
So I think we're planning on doing it again next week. We actually had a lot of people here, so I'm thinking maybe we should do it here again next week. What do you think?
Okay.
So we are going to try and do another class next Friday. Right now, if you're still in the chat, why don't you throw up some suggestions? If you guys have a class that you would like to see us do on, specifically about essential oils, that would be great. There must be a really long delay, like really long.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
So if you guys have any particular topics that you would like to hear us talk about in a class, we are hoping to do another one next Friday, and we would really be interested in knowing what you'd like to see us talk about. Anne and I have been so busy. Anne just finally sent her manuscript in to the publisher, and then I am coming to the end of my book. I actually got layouts. Would you consider focusing on specific oils each week? I mean, that's certainly something we could do, Anne. I don't know.
Sure.
Are you like, is it something?
That's fine. I just am on a different time zone than everybody else. So it's, going live is great. Whoever can make it, but most of the people who are making the live are East Coasters. So that we're going to have to, going live here is great. Yeah, we might have to look into rotating that a little bit
maybe
on
we
that.
choose like
How about a
5
color?
oils? Maybe we make like do 5
Oh.
oils and focus on 5 oils when we do it.
Yeah. Connie says, how about a class to use common EOs topically, including amount and dosage? That's a good one. That's my biggest peeve. That is actually a really good one. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Maybe a focus a group.
Yeah, focus on certain
So
ailments
you can
and
enter
oils
the
that help. Yeah, we've done that.
Oh, that one? Yes, definitely.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something we do.
You know what we could do is we could show you how to identify an oil. And remember, I'm not going to tell you that an oregano oil can be taken topically just to turn around and then you go out and buy something at the grocery store, because I'm not going to tell you can take that internally. I am speaking only of doTERRA essential oils. I am not talking about any other oil. I'm not even talking about Ylang-Ylang oil. doTERRA essential oils has been tested in regards to the purity of the oil, meaning there's no other carrier in it. There's no other oil in it. There's nothing else in it but a pure oil. So if you want me to talk about what oils can be ingested, I will only speak to you of doTERRA essential oils and nothing else, okay? Because I'm not going to verify and put my name out there for an oil that you might have sitting in your medicine cabinet that is from Nature's Gate. Is that the other oil?
Yeah.
Nature's Gate or whatever it's called, something like that. Plant therapy. I will not. I don't have those oils in my house. I don't use those oils, and they're not an oil that I believe in. It's because I can't read any test results from those oils. Sorry, you guys.
Right. Okay, so Anne and I will kind of brainstorm. Just know that we will be back here.
I'm from Hawaii too. Where are you at from Hawaii? Sorry, I got distracted. I just thought I'm from Hawaii. Me too.
Well, Anne is in Washington, but she is from Hawaii. And the time zone
I am
up because she's 3 hours behind me, so it's always really great. But
yeah,
Anne and I will brainstorm, and we will be here next Friday. It might be a different time. I might be a little later. And
Aww.
we will.
Thanks, Nanda.
Oh, Nanda, you're so nice. Okay, so you guys heard
That's so sweet.
Everybody signs up under us. You are the one who gets the last introductory kit. So, you know, a lot of people are asking
Doses for eternal. Good one. Yeah.
And that's something that I get asked a lot in regard to herbs too. So that dosing might be a good topic for us to talk about just in general, because dosing really isn't black and white either.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
No, it's not.
Right and wrong. So that might be something we go over too. Okay. All right. Well, we'll brainstorm. We will let you guys know probably Monday next week what we decide, or Tuesday. And thank you guys for joining us. There's been a lot of you that stuck with us this entire 2 hours. So
oh my gosh, I have a meeting at 10 and I haven't left yet.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, we will get going. Thank you guys for joining us. We hope that you have a great day.
Thank you. Bye, you guys. Thanks.